Hi Sag, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of May 14th through the 20th. This is for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Sagittarius Rising signs. So Sag, for this reading, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot deck along with the Messages from Your Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Interesting. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, I have the Eight of Swords. All right. So with the Eight of Swords, some of you are definitely worrying. Okay, that's interesting. You're worrying unnecessarily here. This is some mental energy that some of you are working through. Some of you might be experiencing this energy as I'm filming this. So by the time this week rolls around, this is energy that you're actually coming out of. But with the Eight of Swords stuck in your head, overthinking things, overanalyzing things, you know, it can be a confusing energy. Some of you might feel anxious. Some of you could be maybe suspecting someone of something, but it could just be that you're suspecting someone of something. And I say that because what's interesting, Sag, is underneath it, we actually have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, you know, I could keep going. We have the Magician. So, you know, there could be some Sages that you're dealing with a manipulative person. Maybe you feel like someone is trying to manipulate you, something like that. With the Seven of Swords, it could be that you're suspecting someone of something, you know, trying to get away with something, trying to steal something from you, lying to you, cheating on you. It could be a number of different things. But for some of you with that Eight of Swords energy, you are just fearing the worst. You know, you are just worrying unnecessarily. So keep that in mind. I think that some of you are suspecting someone of something. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily guilty. The overall energy is the Hanged Man. So that's interesting. So Hanged Man energy is that period of suspense, that limbo period. It is only a temporary energy. Now, for those of you that are waiting on someone or something, waiting on something with that Eight of Swords, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Try to stay positive. And with a Hanged Man here, you know, try to look at the larger picture. Some of you definitely might need to gain, you know, some sort of fresh perspective, especially if you're fearing the worst and thinking the worst, expecting the worst. You know, with this Eight of Swords energy, some of you need to see things from a more positive perspective. With the Two of Rods and the King of Swords here, because, you know, we do have this mental energy. So for some of you, this will be your energy, especially those male Sages. I feel like you need to focus on the future. With the Two of Rods, you know, you have a world of possibilities in your hand here. There's a lot to look forward to. It's a matter of, you know, focusing on the future, planning for the future, coming up with, you know, new ideas for yourself, you know, and just staying focused, keeping your focus on the right things, you know, the positive things, the things that inspire you and excite you, and not letting your mind kind of drift off to that negative place. So some of you definitely need a more positive perspective, but I think that some of you feel kind of overburdened or stressed out by this. With the Ten of Rods, another temporary energy. This is, you know, maybe you feeling stressed out or overwhelmed by this. You know, some of you have this weight, this limbo period that you're kind of in, and so this isn't the easiest. It's definitely maybe, you know, weighing on you, stressing you out, but this is just a temporary energy and you're dealing with it. You know, this person isn't dropping this heavy load. They have a lot of inner strength. So you're dealing with this. You know, this is not something that, you know, you can't get through. You will get through this. You have this very fiery, passionate energy here, which is good. You know, it's more in your element with the 7 of rods and then that 10 of rods. The 7 of rods is what I call that warrior spirit. You know, for some of you, you know, you're not going to drop this heavy load. You're going to fight for what it is that you want, fight for what it is that you believe in. You're not going to quit. You're not going to back down. You know, you're definitely coming through powerful, which you're a Sag, no matter if you're male or female, you are a Sag, so you are a strong individual, and so you're not going to drop this heavy load. You know, you're going to get through this. I think that for some of you, what it is that you're waiting on, you're very passionate about this. And so it could be a decision, it could be a new opportunity, it could be just to move forward in some way in a particular direction. You're very passionate about this. And I think that there's maybe been some confusion around this matter, and that's simply why we have this 8 of Swords energy with the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups, which is that emotional, can be dreamy, illusionary sort of energy here. But for you guys, I feel like it was confusion. It was having a lot of choices in front of you, maybe needing it to narrow it down. This week you still could be narrowing it down. You still could be making some decisions. But, you know, I also feel like this was some confusing energy that you were working through. And, you know, this is good because we have the 7 of Cups, but then we also have the 8 of Cups, which is things progressing. You know, you are actually leaving this confusing, emotional energy. This is like an emotionally scattered sort of energy here. You are leaving this behind. 8 of Cups is you focusing on the future, and you know, it's mirroring this 2 of rods here, which is where your focus needs to be, out of your head, you know, on the future, making plans, getting excited. And also maybe looking at the details, looking at something closely. With the Hanged Man, he's also someone who's gaining that enlightenment. He's someone who is, you know, because he's taking a step back, he's looking at the larger picture, he's actually gaining a fresh perspective. So, you know, this is definitely what's needed for you guys. And with the Knight of Rods and Death, I mean, this is what you're moving towards. Some of you are moving towards, could be an ending, and then with Death, there's always a new beginning. So if something does end, it's because something new is coming into your life. And so maybe some of you are moving house or changing jobs, and maybe there was some confusion with that, or you know, anxiety around that. But you know, your life is changing, something is changing, you're going through a great change. And you know, with the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Rods, you know, this is what you're moving towards. And I feel like when the energy shifts for you, right now it's like a time to plan and figure things out and look at your options. And when the energy shifts for you guys, it's going to shift very suddenly here, and maybe a lot will start to happen all at once. So it's like, get prepared while you can, because there's going to be a lot going on. And with the Knight of Rods and Death, I mean, some of you could be moving house, you could be changing jobs, travel could be in the cards, definitely. And so that could definitely be why you know, it's a time to plan. It's a time to look at the details and look at your options and figure things out. But let's pull you an additional guidance card. Let's see, what else does Sag need to know? Additional guidance for Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Additional guidance for Sagittarius for this upcoming week. All right, interesting. So this card is upright, so this is very significant, but you know, I do feel the need to actually, oh, isn't that interesting? I was going to say, look at this card for you as well. But we have Opal. Your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So children could be significant for some of you this week. A child or children could be significant. If not your children, could be nieces or nephews. If you're dealing with a situation in regards to your children and you are worried about them, just know that they are well cared for, they are safe, they are protected. And then we also have Layla. So very interesting. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. So with this emotionally unscattered, or excuse me, not unscattered, scattered energy, and then along with that 8 of Swords, so we have this emotional, and then we have this mental energy here. Some of you might need to ground yourself. So definitely get outdoors if you can. Enjoy the weather, sit in the grass, lean up against a tree. You know, that can really help you ground yourself. And again, some of you might need that positive perspective. So get outside. If there's a situation that, you know, you've been worried about your children, I think that, you know, this is a beautiful confirmation that you really shouldn't worry. Try to remain positive. Okay, Sag, so I hope that you found this reading helpful. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. If you are interested in having a private reading with me, please check out my website. It's northeasttarot.com. I wish you guys a great week. Take care.